Good morning. I'm back again. Part of my little war wound on the front of my face. You know, the oils in your face sometimes try to escape. Mr. and Mrs. America, all the ships at sea. Here's the OG. Just wanted to talk really quickly this morning about one of my all-time favorite MCs. And I felt he led the way for the movement that put an entire coast on the map in terms of hip hop. Yes, there were some before him. Toddy T, uh, Mixmaster Spade, Egyptian Lover, and various others. But this gentleman is the reason why the West Coast had its run and remains relevant to this day in hip hop. Eazy E, Eric Wright, the Lokes, the Jerry Curl, the Khakis, the all blue. He was a Crip without saying he was a Crip because at that time they wanted to sell records to all of LA and not just Crips, but he represented. Um, Eric Wright is a very fascinating character. Eric Wright was the entrepreneur of the crew. E grew up in a musical family. I believe his father was Charles Wright of the 103rd Street, Watts Band, and they made the Express Yourself song, the original song. So if that's the case, his heritage musically is pretty rich. But it turns out Eazy was always a charmer, young ladies man, liked money, and got into the drug game early because he liked money. And that was what he did, Before music, he sold his little weight, and that's what he did. MC Ren lived in the neighborhood. He was younger than Eazy. He loved rapping. E took a shine to him. They got together. Ice Cube didn't live in Compton. He lived in South Central LA, but they end up, bringing him around. He was with a group called CIA, or Imitation Beastie Boys. I think with Sir Jinx. That was going on around 86. All this is around the time coalescing to where Eazy E would put NWA together. Dre and Eazy, I believe they grew up close to each other, like as far as knowing each other and stuff like that. So here's Eazy. Eazy seeing what Run DMC are doing. Eazy seeing what Schoolie D's doing, especially in Philly, and how PSK, it became an anthem over there. And he was like, well, I want to get into music. I'm tired of the drug game. I want to parlay what I'm doing into music and make it legitimate. So he sets up his foray into trying to do a label. He's starting to try to get groups. He had a group called HBO from New York out there. He had Ice Cube as a writer. He had Dre making beats. Like, he started that concept. They were already coalescing around that in 86. HBO read Boys in the Hood, and they were like, we can't say this. This is West Coast stuff that we don't even relate to. We don't want nobody affiliating us with this country stuff. We're not doing it. Apparently they didn't want Ice Cube to rap it because if you've listened to early Ice Cube, YouTube has it all now. If you listen to CIA era music, Cube was so derivative. Like, he didn't sound like Cube. He sounded like Beastie Boys or anybody else. Like, he wasn't distinctive. So I could see why they didn't want him to rap it. So they wanted to convince Eazy to rap it because Eazy had the voice, or a good voice. Eazy didn't want to do it. Eazy said, I'm not a rapper. I'm a hustler. I'm just paying the money. Dre sat him down, and in one of the great feats in hip-hop music, line by line, made Boys in the Hood into the classic it was. The man couldn't rap. Y'all seen the movie. So they had to say one line, catch it. One line, catch it. One line, over the course of a couple of days. Once they did that, though, you had this high-pitched gangster dude that sounded like the most brolic West Coast bar around. Like, he sounded like he would jump out the trees with his M16 and a bandana on and just take out a projects or something like that. That's what he sounded like. Eazy-E was so believable and a comedian. Think about it. No more questions. My man said, ruthless, my style is a juvenile, ran with a gang, slang in the meanwhile, ganking. I specialize in ganking white Mexicans, brothers, and others. Yo, they was talking so much future slang. The West Coast don't get the credit for this too, and Eazy-E is largely responsible for bringing it out because he was big. Yeah, Ice-T, yeah, but not as much as Eazy-E at all. The Hood, You know what I'm saying? All these slangs, the different slang that is now common today, which you'll probably come across as I'm talking, but it'll come back to me. But they invented so much slang. Hood is the biggest one. They changed single-handedly the black areas of America from the ghetto to the hood. Anyway, Eazy E had the foresight to see that he would sound incredible if they wrote lyrics for him, saying it in his ironic. He sounded like a high-pitched shit talker who was sinister enough to murder you. He was funny, yet you took him serious because of that. Like, it was a great combination. It's almost like the man played against type and it worked perfectly. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you had those juxtapositions, a short person who's the wildest person in the room, or the dark skinned person who is considered the most handsome, beautiful, like those juxtapositions, some like Biggie Smalls, those juxtapositions work really well sometimes. So anyway, Boys in the Hood takes off. They got JJ Fad there to make pop music to sell, to give them more money for Ruthless label, but really they need a blueprint for how to continue the Eazy E movement, because it wasn't an NWA movement. Initially, it was Eazy E movement because of Boys in the Hood. So they started writing for him. DOC was on board by then as a writer, and they came up with the Easy Does It album. I just mentioned No More Questions. Easier said than done. My name is Easy, yeah, this is true. Getting your attention is what I'm gonna do. Hardcore, yo, I could never be soft. As him as he's deaf, and they say the boy goes off. Like classics, radio. You know what I mean? Nobody Move. Where, he shoots the transvestite because she's a transvestite. You know what I mean? Like he was gonna be a rapist, but then instead finds out he's a transvestite, so he wants to shoot her. Like, you couldn't even make that kind of song today. Robbing the bank. You's a stupid mother trying to run. Now your dad is trying to race a gun. Like, hearing that in '88 was almost like watching Martin Scorsese. Like, ooh, yo, that's real. That's wow. Like, Eazy E's personality on that record and the way they had him expressing himself as a gangster really laid the foundation for how the rest of the West Coast would do after that. From NWA to Compton's Most Wanted to Low Profile. Any of the gangster, gang representing hip hop groups that came out after Eazy Does It took Eazy Does It's blueprint. And Eazy Does It took Schoolie D and Ice-T's blueprint. But he's important because he did garner a tremendous following. I don't think everybody could have pulled off what Eazy E pulled off. I mean, to make you laugh when he's talking some really crazy stuff, that's not easy to do. But you just smile along with him because you like, yo, looked at we said, a Raptor 6'4" on a telephone pole. Looked at my car and I said, oh brother, I throw it in the gutter and go buy another. Yo, police shot the chick but didn't hurt her. Both upstate for attempted murder. Like, how could you not laugh at that? Yeah, I kick a little ass. But that's a blast from the past, mother. Son is comedian, straight, funny ass, small, hard dude. Like, what do you say about Eazy E except he was a conceptual genius. He was a great artist. One of the only artists that I like that didn't write their own material. One of the only people I like that carried off so well that I feel you gotta respect him. Eazy Does It led the way. R.I.P. Obviously he was too charming. He had too many women. It got him at the end of his life. But, God bless him and his family. Eazy E, one of my all-time favorites. Peace.